Oh, hey, good to see you. JP Fournier of the Movie Jerks here, and right now I'm just participating in some arts and crafts to bring in the holiday season. A lot of people love to do this, and there's some great crafts you can do just to get ready for Christmas. You can make Christmas ornaments for your tree. You can make homemade Christmas cards. What I'm doing is an old ancient tradition of cutting out single letters, and then I can glue them onto a piece of paper and mail them to a family who's not expecting it. Now, this is a great tradition. This is a really good way to find out if your family loves you, and to a financial point too. Yeah, that looks good. One thing a lot of people like to do while they do their arts and crafts is to watch a holiday film. This year, Hallmark has released 14 brand new films that they started airing on October 24th. I have engaged in a few of the new ones, and I have watched a few of the ones from the past. Let's take a look at a few that I've watched so far. A Cheerful Christmas. Two friends work as hired life coaches but only work on celebrating Christmas. Their business name is Christmas Coaches. The two get hired by a rich family to help decorate the home right before the rich family comes home for Christmas. However, their handsome son is already living in the house and working hard, and he's not into Christmas as much as he is into working hard. So it'll take everything in our protagonist Lauren's Christmas knowledge arsenal to help him love Christmas once again. Okay, right off the bat, if we're dealing with professionals who are self-proclaimed experts on Christmas, then perhaps the film should show some expertise on their behalf. Instead, we get to see a lack of knowledge of Christmas traditions, a lack of common sense, and even a lack of common courtesy. Starting off, let's take a look at Lauren's house. Why does she have a Christmas tree in her doorway? As a Christmas coach, that might be a good starting point, to not put a tree in your doorway. The two ladies drink eggnog that doesn't look refrigerated. Come on, this is eggnog. It is barely healthy when it's properly refrigerated.
You know what? I think we should toast to that.
Maybe not tonight.
The two also wear their winter boots inside. We know it's snowy outside. And as Canadians, we're very aware of how snow clings to boots. At least they could show them trying to shake off the snow when they enter. But no, they just walk right in and ruin the rugs. And if our so-called Christmas coach was doing her job correctly, she would take this opportunity to teach her client that putting the star or angel on the top of the tree is the final step of decorating a Christmas tree. The Christmas tree topper, whether it's a star or an angel, is put on at the end because it looks down and praises upon all the gifts that are upon the tree. But if your goal is only to hook up with a rich man, who needs proper traditions? What the story teaches us in the end is that you don't have to be good at your job if you're passionate about it. Our hero does capitalize on some nostalgic memory of the client, but this is a world where little effort goes a long way. Our protagonist here is constantly annoying. She shows little to no respect for her love interest's work, interrupting him constantly for her own needs. He's struggling to find a method to keep jobs for people that he respects, and perhaps he may not have to be so stressed out right up to Christmas Day if he wasn't interrupted by Little Miss Christmas Coach to constantly go shopping, to make snowmen, to eat Christmas cookies, and of course to decorate the Christmas tree. You know, it's not a sin to skip out on building a snowman to work hard just before Christmas in order to help employees feel that they have a job security right before Christmas. But if working hard interferes with a single lady's chance at having a relationship with a rich, handsome man, well, let those people sweat. Once Upon a Christmas Miracle. The plot synopsis, according to IMDb, reads, "This holiday romance is based on an incredible story about an organ donor, Chris Dempsey, and recipient Heather Kruger, who were brought into one another's lives by a transplant surgery that led to a miraculous romance. And that basically sums up the film. However, I do have a problem with the word miraculous, but I will get to that in a moment. First, I would like to bring attention to the insane Christmas decorations in the backgrounds.
And then he says this place overdoes Christmas.
How can you overdo Christmas?
That's what I said.
You can't be too festive.
Right?
But just look over their shoulders. That's how you can overdo Christmas. The amount of Christmas decorations at that bar, where the bartender is serving drinks, most of the alcohol would be displayed, is overtaken by Christmas decorations. See, that cannot be practical. But I can excuse the bar over this because they're trying to sell something. However, let's take a look at Heather's parents' place. If you look at the background in any room, they have smeared Christmas decorations everywhere. For example, how do they use that back kitchen counter? In this scene, the dad finishes decorating the Christmas tree. The next thing we see is that he's untangling lights with his wife that are still plugged in. Oh yeah, that makes the untangling much easier. And where do those lights go? The house is already decorated. Do they have an outhouse in the back that needs to be lit up too? Or how about this doctor's office, where the doctors deliver bad news to their patients? I can just see a doctor thinking, oh no, I've got to give more bad news to another patient. Is the Christmas room open? Because I not only want to wreck their lives, I also want to ruin their Christmas in association. In this film, Christmas decorations are everywhere. Even the people on the street are shown decorating continuously. See, the reason I bring this up is because after the surgery, Heather apparently has financial issues and has to give up her future so she can pay for her hospital bills. Chris then sets out to raise money to help give Heather back her future freedom. The film reminds us that Chris's efforts to raise money is hard work.
This is so much work, you must be exhausted.
A little, but it's okay. By the way, you look spectacular in red.
That only aggravates me more, being that if they were really strapped for cash, maybe they might consider turning off their Christmas lights during the daylight hours. Even their out-of-town cabin, which nobody is staying at until Christmas, has their lights on inside and outside. But lowering Christmas celebration is not an option here, so we have to bring in a bunch of people outside the story and ask them to help donate and pay for the daughter's hospital bills, as well as their unnecessary and extravagant Christmas decorations. Now let me return to the use of the word miraculous, or miracle. A miracle is a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws, and therefore is considered to be a work of a divine agency. The film wants the audience to believe that this chance meeting between the two lovers is a miracle. Well, it's not. They meet because Chris selflessly donates a part of himself to maintain another person's health.
You owe me absolutely nothing for this.
Sure, it's rare to find someone that may be that generous, but saying that's a miracle discredits his Chris' generosity. It's basically saying that he was incapable of doing it himself, therefore God had to force him to do it. Here's another example of this hypocrisy that this film delivers.
Words can't express how grateful I am for all the generosity in this room. And for this to have happened in such a short amount of time is really nothing short of a miracle.
Calling these people's donations a miracle is literally telling them that there is no natural or scientific reason for you people to be charitable. Therefore, God had to intervene. If I give someone a gift and they reply to me by saying, me giving them a gift is a miracle, well, that's the last gift they're getting from me. I believe the true life story is incredibly heartfelt and sweet. But this movie, well, it would take a miracle for me to think it was genuine. A Christmas Miracle. Perhaps this miracle-based Hallmark film might get miracles correct.
A Christmas miracle? It's like when something truly wonderful and unexpected happens this time of year.
Spoiler alert, they don't. This film is about a magazine that wants to do something original and fresh for the holiday season, so they choose Christmas Miracles as their innovative idea. Oh yes, the media has never attempted to talk about Christmas miracles before. Very original. When a single mother comes up with this original concept, it is stolen by her boss. Now she, with the help of her handsome co-worker, must find their own Christmas miracle to outdo their boss at her own game. So what does this film classify as a miracle? One is this wannabe author accidentally finding a first print signed copy of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Well, it's not a miracle. The second one is reuniting this jazz musician with his former band plus daughter. Also not a miracle. Even if we were to consider these two stories as miracles, the film itself shows little respect for either. For instance, if this was the first edition of a signed copy of A Christmas Carol, the magazine would be very delicate with the lighting and shooting, let alone have the book ruined by this lady's acidic fingerprints that are ungloved while she handles it. And then we get to the jazz singer, Santa Dean, played by the likable Barry Bostwick. The film needs to have every character remind us throughout the film that he is supposedly talented.
He's really good.
He is, isn't he?
I really love your sound.
Thanks, man.
You had to have played professionally.
Well, you're very kind, but I'm just a retiree who likes to make some people happy on my time off.
But your music,
Yeah.
there's something about it that sounds so familiar.
That's because the music is not great. The one thing this film does correctly is the Hallmark interruption. You see, every Hallmark film has a moment where the two lovers are either about to kiss or discover their love for each other. But to drag out this relationship and maintain suspense, Hallmark tends to interrupt this moment so they can have this moment at the very final climax.
I'm so sorry. I thought it might be a raccoon.
Often it's a kid that interrupts.
And I do.
Uncle Max, Jessica!
Hey, Abby, what's up?
Bratty kids.
You never know when a new one might happen.
Oh!
Wasn't quite the memory I was thinking of.
But it can also be a relative.
Gabe? Gabe?
Whoop, that was close.
The McGuires are here. I thought you might want to.
Thanks, great.
A friend.
Noelle? Oh, sorry, we lost track of you and... No, it's okay. We were just about to head back.
But in A Christmas Miracle, this might be my favorite interruption. That's right, a janitor / maintenance man who could either wait for them to have their moment or perhaps even take the cart around them. But nope, this hero of the film decides to plow right through them. And just look at his satisfied face. I would like to know more about this guy. In the end, it's a pretty harmless film. Christmas in Evergreen, Letters to Santa. Being the least offensive of these Christmas films, I did find myself a bit disturbed by one character. The film is about restoring an old Christmas shop that has a lot of memories with people. A team is gathered together by our protagonist to help restore the old shop right before Christmas. It's pretty standard Hallmark scripting affair here, but one thing stood out to me, and that was this guy. Something is very odd about this man.
'Tis the season, Kevin.
Yeah.
He gives off a Stanley Tucci and the Lovely Bones type of vibe. And just look at him hold his hand on the bottom of a hot kettle. That's creepy. Yeah, I do think that he's a serial killer. Every scene that he is shown in, he is super intense. I half expected our beautiful protagonist to be bound and gagged in the back of his truck, being led off to some lonely cabin. But thankfully good taste did prevail. Besides the creep, I have to admit that this is a good-looking Hallmark Christmas movie. The lighting is beautiful, the cinematography is strong. I even like the storybook bookends before commercial breaks.
Now, storybook, let's not rush things. I was just getting to that.
Sure, it's predictable as all sin, but in the spirit of Christmas, this one has a lot of joy running through it. In the end, this Hallmark film actually worked for me. With the exception of the serial killer, of course. Well, I don't know about you people, but after I watch a Hallmark film, all I feel like doing is refreshing my hot chocolate. Okay, what idiot put the tree in the doorway?